Hello, Mr. Escordian. Sorry, I'll turn that down a bit. Why is that so loud? Okay. How are you, Mr. Escordian? Phone seems to be peeking out a bit there. Sorry. Just using a different microphone. I'm going to be working over there.
Okay, let's track it.
Hope I haven't deafened you completely. Yeah. So does that limit, like put a max limit? I need to look into that then, don't I? Yep. Do you have any recommendations at all that I could use? If you wouldn't mind, just popping a link in, or even just... Are you on our Discord? Not even sure you're on our Discord. Or even just a quick pointer, even just a name. Oh, it's spelled, is it? Okay. So I take it I can, filters in the, so I'm using NVIDIA Broadcast. Okay, it's filters. I've got one there called gain. Compressor, there we go. Compressor. Oh yeah. Threshold negative 18 dB. User limiter. Is that different to a compressor? Because the compressor's got a threshold setting. It's currently set to negative 18 dB. Output gain 0. Okay, if I remove that, remove the compressor. Limiter. Oh yes. Limiter. Oh yeah. Threshold negative 6 dB. So it'll never go more than that. It seems like now my NVIDIA Broadcast is picking up background noise though. No. Yeah, so my NVIDIA Broadcast has been overridden. Okay. Okay. NVIDIA Broadcast is still picking. All right. I've taken the limiter off. It's probably something I should mess around with off stream, I think. I'm not quite sure. Yeah. So I need a noise gate and a limiter, but yeah. Yep. I'll look into that. Okay. I'm going to have my back to the stream, and so I can't read the chat while I'm facing that way, and I'll have my back to you. But I just need that workbench for working on. G'day Zeon, how are you? I've got a few little bits and pieces. It's going to be a little bit bitsy, this stream, but I'll show you some bits and pieces that I'm doing at the moment. So yeah, if I miss your messages, right? Yeah. So you don't use the NVIDIA broadcast noise cancellation? Yeah. Yeah. Got it. I'll have a wee play, but yeah. Yep. So I'll have my back turned to you. I probably won't be reading that many messages, but I'll stop and read some messages. I could put another computer over there and have the chat over there, but I'm just not really all that organized. So I'll be head down over here, chatting away, and showing you what I've been up to. So, actually, I'm just wondering if I tone down this microphone a little bit. Hold on a second. Just going to mute. Right. I've just toned the microphone down a little bit on the receiver end, just compensating for it there in OBS. Hopefully that's okay. I'm not going to blast your eardrums out. Let me know if the balancing isn't, or the mixing is not that great. I will adjust it as need be. So, first thing, this is the Supra. It's the Supra 500, Supra RAM 500 RX with its clothes off. And basically what I've done is I've populated, I had 2 here, I had 2, 4, 6, 8 zip. These are zip memory. I've got some here. Used quite a bit in the Amiga, especially the 3000. And you can see it's kind of like the legs are staggered. So I guess you know, the reason it's called zip is because it's a little bit like a zip, right? That's what it's not like a SIM, which is a single inline memory module, or a DIP, which is dual inline package. It's a zip because you've got this zip type arrangement of the legs there. Like that. Pretty cool. But I've got a few different I've got a few different brands and a couple of different types. So pretty much this type here is 1 meg by 4. So for every 4 of these you get a megabyte. And I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, because if that was the case, it's like 1 megabit by 4. And if that was the case, you'd expect that 4 of these here would be 1 megabyte, is the way I understand it. It could well be flawed understanding, but this had 2, 4, 6, 8 of these individual parts, and this had 4 meg, right? So that would indicate that each one's half a meg. So you've got a pair there, 1, a pair there, 2, a pair there, 3, a pair there, 4. So the 1 megabit by 4, I just have to put a little bit more time into actually working out exactly what that means. Yeah, but anyway, what I've done here is I've populated this with another 2, 4, see the ones with the white dots on it? They're the ones I've added. Now the white dots were added by previous owner just for orientation purposes. So I've added 2, 4, 6, 8 to give me, this now has a total of 8 megs, and I had to set the jumpers appropriately for the 8 megs. So we plug that in. Problem is I'm going to have to get your potato can here because I'm on the other bench, but it's not that exciting. Really, what you'd see on the screen is not overly exciting. So oh, okay. I suspect that each one is a 512K, but I'm not 100% sure. So you really need to figure out what size you need. Yeah, so the hard drive sidecar does support RAM as well, and that's what I've got on the bench down here. Is potentially you've seen in previous video, I've got an Amiga 500 with an HD with an A590, and I had the Super RAM plugged in as well. So the Super RAM had 4 meg and the A590's got 2. Anyway, racing the beam. Good to see you. Yeah, so I can't really use I can use that Super RAM with the A590. 2 megabytes of the RAM will be overlapping, which I don't think is a big problem. Or I can switch the switch on the Super RAM, and basically whatever RAM's in there just is not in use. Yeah, exactly. I mean, for an Amiga 500, you don't really need that much RAM, do you? It's actually the chip RAM that's more important. and I'm working on that. Yeah, the chip RAM is the important one for, like I said, WHD load, things like that. Anyway, if I plug in the Amiga test kit workbench, well, boot disk there, that plugged in. Sorry about potato vision. So if I go to the F1 for the memory, and we go to full on potato vision here, you'll see I've got 9 meg. So we've got 8 meg on the Supra, half a meg of chip, which you can't see right now, 8 meg fast and half a meg slow. And so what I'm going to do is, I'm not sure which machine I'm going to do it on at this stage, but there are two jumpers basically or two connector links. You could put jumpers on them, I guess, or switches even. This is a Revision 6A motherboard in this Amiga 500, so basically you just cut two of the jumpers, the traces, and join two links, and it converts the slow memory here to chip RAM. So that will give me, instead of half a meg chip, half a meg slow, it'll give me 1 meg total chip. Problem with doing that is that if you don't have the RAM card in here, so this has got an A501, show you that. This was a little project I did last night. Got the A501. Oh no, this is one I did the other day. Sort of been stock taking these things and making sure that I don't have leaky batteries through them. But that should just come off. Oh man, I left my tools in the car. I went out for work today and left my tools in the car. I'll probably need to grab those. I think this is... Oh, hang on. This might be the one I fixed up last night. Let's have a look. I really need my tools. I'll be right back. Hey, Mr. Evil C. Right, screwdriver. This is an A501, half meg of RAM. There's a real-time clock for those that are uninitiated. This is the one that I sent the photo through on Discord that had the minimal damage. It's probably the least damaged A501 that I've ever seen. The battery had leaked. That little sucker there was leaking. But all it had done is really just affected a small spot on the negative. And so I just fit this coin cell battery holder, and it's got a built-in diode to stop, that from charging. And so that's what gives you the 512K slow RAM. So we've got half a meg chip RAM in the stock Amiga 500 and half a meg of slow RAM. If you have that, just plug it in default, that's what you get. And I've got the 8 meg of chip RAM, fast RAM on the sidecar extension there. But the thing is that if you run it as it is, you get, as say you saw it just then, you get the half meg chip, half meg slow. If you set the jumpers, it incorporates this into the chip RAM, which is what you want. The problem is, as soon as you do that, the Amiga will no longer boot if you don't have this plugged in. So you kind of got to bear that in mind. What I've thought about doing is actually from the actual pads where the jumpers are that I'm talking about, is running wires out from the 6 connections and using like a double pole, double throw, even like a little push button switch or something, a latching switch, just so that if you want to pull this out and use it as a stock Amiga with at least, you've half a meg of chip RAM, which is, it's probably adequate for playing quite a few games. I mean, the Amiga 1000 is configured that way, and I can play quite a few games on that. And if I want to plug that in and have it incorporated into chip RAM, I can just flick the switch and Bob's your uncle. Just a convenient way of dealing with that. And that I've tested does hold time. So the real-time clock and everything is 100% working. And that board, which is good. So that's that one. Got a nasty looking repair job. This is one that's not looking so good. I also posted the photo of that one up on the Discord, but yeah, you can see, I've actually had to scrape the solder mask off with a screwdriver. It sounds medieval, but like the fiberglass pen doesn't get anywhere near it. So screwdriver is really the only way. And so the damage has, come out to about here. It's come down here and across here. It's not looking too bad. Normally, or often what can happen is corrosion can get right into this like trimmer capacitor there, and it can take out the real-time clock chip, and all sorts of dodginess goes on. The back of it's been affected, but it's not too bad, and I'll go over this when I do a proper repair. I'll put a coin cell battery holder with a diode on there, and then just go over this with like you know, a green nail polish from nail polish do the trick there. So that's the plan for that one. And but yeah, just need to throw a battery on that. I think it's probably going to work okay. So that's what I puddled around with last night, cleaning that up. Thought I'd do that off camera because that's going to make for a pretty boring stream. It should boot fine without the card, even after the mod. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm just sort of going by what I saw on a someone mentioned on a video. Oh, but that's handy to know. Yeah, I'll do that mod at some stage. Yeah, I'm not really sort of set up for it tonight. I'm not really set up for much tonight, to be honest. So yeah, I just wanted to show you some bits and pieces. Just that one. It's having a rummage around, and it's not really Amiga 500 related, but it is Amiga related, but I'm just not 100% sure exactly what this is. It's definitely got something to do with RAM, or whether it's just RAM only. I'm assuming it is. I think it's for Amiga 2000, 3000. I think it is a RAM card. But I found this in the stash and I thought that looks interesting, and I just wonder whether yeah, it's Great Valley Products. Oh, here it is. It's an A2000 RAM 8 Rev 4. That lovely looking beast with these sims on it, and there's a note with it from the previous owner. The previous owner, I think, dabbled in a little bit of Amiga repair work, and there's a note in there from whoever owned this card, sent it to the person I bought this Amiga stash off, talking about unreliable or RAM errors. And I'm just wondering whether it's, you know, one of these sims is faulty. I mean, could it be as simple as that? It's possible. These are all socketed down here. I'm assuming that's some sort of maybe built-in RAM there. And then you've got additional RAM you can put in here. Yeah, I'm assuming you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 meg there with another 1, 2 there, because being a RAM 8, I'm assuming that's referring to 8 megs of RAM. I haven't looked it up on the web yet, so that could be a good little project to get my teeth into, just to see whether it's as simple as just a faulty sim, or even one of these faulty, you know. I can't imagine there'd be too much wrong with it. Who knows? It could have been plugged in back to front or something silly like that, I suppose. It could have really done some damage, but some of the stuff that I've got from that haul, I've had, you know, I've seen notes in the boxes say stuff's not working, and it just takes a simple look over, a little bit of information, and just a bit of a muck around. Could be jumpers, could be just a faulty sim and whatnot, and things like that. and some of the stuff just comes right and it's perfectly usable. So it's almost like some of it was kind of like user error, you know, complain about it being faulty and it's perfectly fine in reality. So that's that was just something aside. When I was looking for that zip RAM, I came across that and I thought that'll be an interesting little project. And of course, as you find bits and pieces, well, because I've got this, we've looked at this already. I think Evil C, you were there when I was testing this. And this was originally in the Amiga 500 Plus. And because the Amiga 500 Plus is a bit different as to, you know, the standard Amiga 500, I think correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Amiga 500 Plus came with a 1 mega RAM out of the box, is my understanding, and you can easily populate another mega RAM into them. And I'm wondering if this is also another 1 meg for, because it came out of the A500 Plus, and I'm wondering if I plug this into the A500, because the A500 can only see a maximum of 1 meg because it's got the standard Agnes, whether this won't work in the A500, because it is basically just a 1 meg chip RAM, or potentially slow RAM if it's in the A500 trapdoor. The A500 Plus trapdoor could just be slow RAM, right? Not 100% sure. I don't really know enough at this stage to tell you definitively, but that's something that I would like to test on the A500 Plus. And then the A500 Plus has a bit of damage. It's not bad, but it's not great. It's good enough to run. But I've had a few quirky little things go on with the sidecar, if things plugged into the sidecar and things like that. So that's a little bit of a work in progress at this stage. Yeah. Oh, you reckon 2 meg worth of chips? Oh yeah, you're talking about the other one. Yeah. Yeah, these are all bits and pieces that just came with a haul. You know, like I've told this story plenty of times on stream before, so I won't go into it in detail, but when I turned up to pick up this haul of Amigas, the first thing I remember seeing was a stack up to about here of Amiga 2000s. Yeah, and there were like a couple of 3000s and bits and pieces. And the thing with that haul was there was boxes of stuff I had absolutely no idea what it was all about. And that, you know, lots of those cards and some of the Amiga accelerators, and I've got gen locks and bits and pieces. And they all just went into boxes and got stashed away. So as I sort of sort through it, even like 9 years later, I'm pulling out stuff that I didn't even realise I really had. I haven't really taken a full stock take. There was just so much stuff. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I do really enjoy it, and I do try my best to restore things the best I can without, you know, irreparably damaging things, and I do try and take a lot of care. But yeah, fixing it up, messing around, I love doing that stuff. Yeah, that's actually partly why I started streaming, is because some of the stuff was just sitting on a shelf, and I would drag stuff out from time to time, have a play with it, mess around. And that goes for not just Amiga stuff, but PC and 8-bit stuff and all sorts of different pieces. So yeah, that's definitely a big reason I thought I'd stream. I mean, like I don't really think I've got. Well, I know that I don't have a huge amount of knowledge, but I'm kind of learning as I go. And to be honest, I don't really think it matters too much if you don't have too much knowledge. As long as you just get in, have a wee play. If there's anything you don't know about, just stop and go and research it. And be careful and be sort of considered about your approach. I think can help. I think researching is a big thing, and that's pretty much the way I approach it. It's because I've got this stuff. If I don't know, if I get to the point where I'm not really sure what I'm doing, I just tend to stop. I definitely don't want to sort of go damaging anything and all that. Yeah, and I don't want it sitting on a shelf somewhere that people can't see it. And I was a little bit worried about doing it. I sort of didn't want it to sort of feel like I was skiting either, It's not really anything to do with skiting or showing off how much stuff I've got. I really just enjoy messing around with it, and you guys, you're like-minded, and that's exactly the people I wanted to connect with, is like-minded people that appreciate this stuff and don't just sort of look down their noses at it as being just old junk. And yeah, I love it when other people see this stuff, and when I see other stuff in like museums or whatever, and I really appreciate it too. And that's kind of the way I see it, is if people can appreciate what I've got as much as I can appreciate what other people have got, well, that just seems like a win-win to me. But yeah, that's what it's all about. Yeah. And so yeah, I actually thought about not streaming tonight because I'm so disorganized, and it's just been quite a big day, and I thought, shall I stream? I don't know if I'm really organized for it. And what I'd really like, and I don't know how practical it's going to be, is the ability to have access to the chat. I mean, I could probably just set up another computer over there, right, and look at chat there. That's probably one way. But it's quite nice having a PC. I've got this PC right here in front of me. I can control OBS and do all that, switch scenes and do all that red chat. Over there, I feel a little bit isolated. It'd be quite nice to have, and on the desk here, which is where I normally show you all my stuff, there's an Amiga 500 with an A590 plugged into it and a bloody Supra drive and a SCSI zip drive, and it's taking up all the desk. And I just don't want to disconnect all that and move all that just to put that here and work on it here. So I'll take you over to the other desk. Passionate collectors with limited space. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, I've got a wireless keyboard and with touchpad. I could easily just plug in and go. But being able to, from there, being able to just glance over at this screen would be quite nice. So it'd be kind of cool to have this set up, like my streaming setup, with my computer that I'm sort of gaming with and using, blah, blah, blah. And then on the other side, over here, is have my workbench rather than over there. But I'm kind of pushed for space, so I'm working with what I've got. Yeah, I could run another screen all the way over there, but yeah, this place is a shambles at the moment. It's just the cables everywhere. It's just unreal. So that's the yeah wraparound desk. But this is the setup at the moment. I robbed the Supra out of here, but the cables in behind here you do not want to know about. I mean, bloody hell, it's just a nightmare. And this is where I've got my streaming PC here. And that space over there is just sort of dumping space. I could move stuff over there, but I've got table legs down here. It's a nightmare, a rat's nest. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm sort of just working with what I've got at the moment. Hence why we're over here. I do have this is feedback. That's a direct feed from the camera. So I can actually see what I'm doing via the camera, if you know what I mean. I've been shopping on AliExpress. This is 10 pieces MC27C 800 EEPROM that I will be using for burning Amiga ROMs. So I can put my 1.3, I've got spare 1.3s and stuff, but I can make more 3.1s and make more 2.0s, diagnostic ROMs, blah blah blah. So that is going to be handy. And of course I've got one of these which I've not used in anger yet. The problem with this is to program these you need a special adapter. And I went looking online, and would you believe it, I found a guy on Tindy, not Tinder, found a guy on Tindy who sells these kits for said chips to fit into the TL866 programmer. And so I thought might build that tonight. We'll do some soldering, and yeah, I was going to look at fitting a real-time clock to that, but these through holes need a bit more cleaning, I think, to really do a good job of that. So that's probably a job for another day. So we'll build this little adapter kit. Oh, the other thing I got. Oh, I've got a few goodies today. It was an interesting day. So if all goes well, I'm going in for surgery on my hand to fix a Dupuytren's contracture, which is this finger here, and that's happening next Thursday. So from if all goes well, if the hospital doesn't go, sorry, but we're postponing your surgery, this hand will basically be bandaged, because they're releasing this one, which is completely, it's a Dupuytren's. So if you look it up online, there's plenty of people who've got it. It's a common hereditary disease, and so I can't straighten that finger out, and eventually that'll just curl right over like that, and that'll be it. So I found out today that I'm going in for surgery next Thursday, so this will be completely unusable. I'll be running left-handed. I don't know whether I'll be able to stream or not. Maybe if I have a computer set up and I can just maybe, I'll be able to play Age of Empires, because I'm using my left hand for the mouse, and a nice laid back sort of game like that I can probably play. So I'll still be streaming. But yeah, that was confirmed today, so that was good. Also, this arrived. These are op amps for the Amiga 600 that has that dodgy sound output, and because the Amiga 600 has been recapped, I've recapped it and it's still got issues with the sound. I had a look online, watched a couple of YouTube videos, and more than likely it's faulty op amp. So we'll be doing a op amp swap out at some stage, maybe in the weekend when I get a bit more time. Enough room for a battle station, yeah. LEDs to your fingertips. Yeah. I got my MT32 Pi. So went and picked this up from the man himself today. Pi 32. Built in New Zealand by Mr. Certified himself, good friend of the channel. Yep, so that's a MT32 Raspberry Pi project. I've got that along with breakout adapters, MIDI cable. There's a screen in here. Apparently there's a custom case being printed, 3D printed, which I've got on order from Certified as well. So yeah, that'll be neat to have a play around with at some stage. Jumper wires, bits and pieces. Little card there for it. Everything's pre-done, just plug it in, hook it up, away you go. Apart from the case, which, you know, obviously needs building, but he also threw in some goodies for me. Oh, you're going to play with yours this weekend? Oh, that's cool. Yeah. He threw in big box Caesar 3, albeit Italian, but that's still pretty cool. Caesar, I actually have played this. Yeah, Caesar, it is a cool game. Anyone know Italian? This is quite cool though. It's you know, the smaller form factor PC DVD, but it's got little Velcro. It's a fold out, like a gatefold. That's pretty cool. I'm not even sure what this is. Anyone want to translate? Anelli online. The Hombre di Angmar. And the Empire Total War. So that was a nice little little bonus that he threw in for me. It's cool. Oh, yep, you got it with your Pico Gus. Oh, yeah, cool. I'm going to just move that Amiga off the bench and get into some soldering. But before I do that, I'll just take a quick break. Won't be long.
Re-experience the mind unbounded. Amiga, the first personal computer that gives you a creative edge.
Okay, son. Remember to roll when you land, alright, buddy? Yeah. That's the boy. Dinner ready, honey?
Now, with over 200 games, there's only time for the important things in life.
Microsoft, ready to play. From the co-designer of the hit title Civilization comes Age of Empires. From the Stone Age to the Iron Age, experience 10,000 years of amazing discoveries as you build your...
Workbench. This basically just, yeah, allows you to plug these chips into this here, which in turn plugs into your programmer. So this came in the mail today. A few things arrive over the last few days, so So basically they're a kit, but you get the board that's pre-populated with the SMD parts. So this is all pre-populated and tested. And so all you really need to do is, you know, attach these through-hole components. Just have to crop these here so that they don't stick too far through the board. Otherwise it interferes with I think it potentially can short with the bottom of this here. So you basically just put that in the board and trim these. It's 20 of them, so geez, they're pinging around the place. So if I don't hold my finger over it, they really fly. What's she up to? Ugh. That's a little device select switch. And then we have a bank select rotary job. Yeah, probably doesn't help. I'm left-handed and got the camera on the left. Oh. Yep, that's good. Just checking the fit here before I go too far. So that sits over there. Oh yeah, I see why you have to trim the legs, otherwise it will hold the this ZIF socket up off the board. That's good. Yeah. I think we're in for some rain. It's bloody peeing down out there at the moment. The next couple of days, apparently. Poor old Alice the cat, she doesn't like the rain very much. She gets cabin fever. She's a very outdoorsy cat. Yeah. You got a trench to dig. Why are you digging trenches? Pretty good. Right, that's that one done. That fits into there. That, and then we have this ready to accept some EEPROMs. Oh, you got a bit of work on then, haven't you? Big stash of EEPROMs. M27C800. So these are actually double the size of what you actually need for an Amiga ROM, but they're about or less than half the price of the appropriate, size one. But you just basically, from what I read, you double bank them. So you write the Amiga ROM to one bank and then switch to the other bank and, fill that up as well. Not sure exactly how this is supposed to fit. I guess it just either there or there. I will look into it. One or the other. The orientation is correct. The little cutout is at this end here. Got the cutout there. But whether I take it right up to the edge there or not, I don't know. Or do I butt it back there? I'd assume you take it right up to this end here. Like that. Would be my assumption, but I'll double check that before trying to write anything to it. So yeah, that's a good little project for the Amiga there. Okay. That's a job done. About doing this, do I have everything handy? That's the thing. Give that, put a battery in this and give it a test. Going to need to put some serious work into those through holes though. Clear them out. Let's see if I've got everything I need. I used one of these little coin cell holders. It seems to be quite a good, even just temporary solution. The last one, I mean, this can accommodate you know, like a big battery, right? Tall, one of these tall batteries here. So I reckon if I just put this coin cell holder here with a diode in line, hopefully I've got diodes here. Lit up the diodes. I might have misplaced the diodes. I had them just the other day for this exact project on another A500. What did I do with them? Oh, here they are. These are Schottky diodes, so you know they've got low voltage drop on them. Because these are 3.6, yeah, these are 3.6 volts, and obviously your coin cell's 3. But apparently these clock chips will work right down to like 2 point something volts. So what I did last time was a potential sort of, say temporary fix, but I'd say potentially almost permanent to a point, actually, because I see nothing wrong with having, you know, like I put the diode into the positive terminal here, and then I just wire the negative into the negative terminal, or you can actually just solder right onto the board here, it's no problem. And then, you know, fit the diode, solder the positive onto the back of the diode, Bob's your uncle. I'd say pretty much should be a fairly quick job, I'd say. I think the hardest thing's actually going to get through this, be to get through the through hole here. So I'm going to need a lot of flux. Gonna make lots of smoke. In reality, I could probably just bloody solder onto the trace. I mean, you know, I don't think it's that big a deal. I don't think I need to go through the through hole there. I think what I'll do is just bend this down a little bit. What I'll do later is I'll come back later and tin this. Actually, we'll probably tin some of it now. Let's get some flux on there. Just tin the copper. Can take a bit of heat though. Let's crank that iron up. Actually, I'm wondering whether, before I go to all this hassle of tinning this up, is I actually just put the battery on and test it, and then come back and do this once I know that it's working. That might be a better idea. There's no point spending all that time tinning this up if it's not working. So this will be easily taken off, and you know, gives me room to tin the rest of it up and then put it all back together again. negative, positive. Diode to positive, just basically straight onto the negative plane there, and put a battery in this. These are pretty cool. They're quite slim. That's what I like about them. They're slim. They've got an on-off switch on them too, which you know, neither here nor there really, is it? But yeah. Just make sure we've got no shorts here. It's good. We can chuck a battery in it. Catch up with chat. Yeah, sometimes you do need a steady hand, don't you? It's bloody hard if you're a bit shaky on it. Sometimes I get a bit of a shake on it. I'll try and do something really fine. A coin cell here. Just make sure it's in reasonable condition. 2.9 volts, that's good enough for me. Whack that in there. Turn it on, we should have some voltage. 2.8, that's because of the low voltage drop, the Schottky diode. Pretty handy. And then, you know, like if I was doing something a little bit more permanent in quotes, I'd probably just like double-sided tape that down or hot glue it in. So if this tests out okay, I'll go ahead and, you know, probably just temporarily remove what I've just done here, tin all this top and bottom, get all that tinned, and then go over it with nail polish, like a green nail polish, probably do the trick. Just want to have a close look at that. And then that'll be ready to go. That's a Rev 5 A501. Yeah, that's okay. So, next test. Grab the Amiga and see if we've got a real-time clock or not. I ordered a couple of those Necroware Dallas real-time clock battery replacements, not realizing I had one in stock because all my stuff is disorganized. Not all of it, I'm slowly organizing. So everything of the same type is in the same place at least, and then when I go looking for stuff, I know that I'm looking in the right place, and if it's not there, I know that it's probably not going to find it somewhere else, which seems to work. Okay. the Amiga back on here. Use Velcro. Well, I could. No reason why not. Card and the trapdoor. That will be fine for the meantime. Yeah. Is she no good? The other thing is, did I turn the battery on? Not that that really matters. I'm pretty sure I did because I had 5 volts out of it. Sorry, 3. Oh, I can see what's wrong. Video cable came out. That should be... I'll screw that in. Nope. Okay, we have signal this time. Now try and wrestle this in here. Photo vision. Okay, F1 memory, we have 9 megs total, 0.5 chip, which is correct. 8 meg fast, which is correct, and 0.5 slow, which is correct. List and test memory region. Let's just check that slow RAM. Yeah, it looks fine. Yep, it's working. Yeah, it's not focus hunting. I don't know why it's not. It should be, shouldn't it? It's because it's focused on this area right here. This little square here is the focus area, and it's right on that. It's focus hunting a little bit there when it goes dark. But yeah, that memory is checking out. RTC, let's have a look. Yep, it's detecting the real-time clock. Tuesday, November the 15th, 2050. Invalid date time, needs reset. F1 reset date and time. Right. F2, set date and time. F1 for the month. June, F2 for the day. Was it the 23rd? Where's the year? F3. Wednesday, yeah, that's right. Hour. Was it 22? 22:09, somewhere around there. 8, that'll do. Escape, save and exit. Let's chuck a workbench disk in there. Well, there's another 501 memory expansion saved from certain death. That's 3 of them I've saved in the last few days. Wednesday, 25th of June, 2025, 22:08. It's looking good. There's your focus hunting. It's like old times, eh? Yeah, let me set it up properly. Here we go. There you go. Bit of focus hunting for you. Turn the second hand on. Date on. go. So test will be turn it off, turn it back on, see what we've got, see if it keeps the time. But yeah, pretty sure that it'll be fine. And we do have the 1 meg. Yep, we've got 1 meg, 921384. As I say, not all of it's chip, but we can sort that. It's no worries. So there we go, successful repair. Yay! 2050. I know that's like the default. I don't know where it got that from. Yep, it's true spud cam, just like the old days. Right, that's about it for me tonight. Just a short one. I've got my little jobs that I wanted to get done. I've got a few other projects in the mix. Not sure how much I'll be able to do after I've had my hand operated on. Probably just set up, as I say, for some gaming. I just need to have computer set up and ready to go, just so I can turn on, ready to go. Because basically I've got no use of one hand for probably a couple of weeks. You take your hands for granted, I tell you. You so take them for granted. As soon as you end up without a hand, it's kind of like put a hand in a pocket and try and do stuff, and just think you cannot take your hand out of your pocket. That's what it's like. So, I mean, last time I couldn't even get the lid off the coffee, you know, because it's a screw jar. I probably could have if I had like put it down, and if I had to squash the jar between myself and the bench and then undone the lid with one hand. It's pretty, you know, quite likely I'm going to spill the coffee all over the floor. Yeah, so I knew you'd pick up on that one. Or here, let me put it this way. Hold your hand behind your back and leave it there. And then cruise around. Do it for like 10 minutes and just try and do your normal day stuff. Not sitting on the couch watching telly. I mean, actually try and make a coffee, you know. Try and move a computer. So I'm going to have to get prepared next week, as I say, just for sitting down and turning a computer on, and you know, I'll probably making a coffee one-handed's fine if you can get the lid off the coffee. That was the hard part, without spilling the coffee all over the place. And it takes you twice as long to do anything, you know. So yeah, probably just sit down and play games. I've got the use of my left hand, I'll be fine. I can use my mouse left-handed. I do that often anyway, because I have been struggling to hold a mouse with this hand. And so, yeah, that's if you drink Moccona. I used to. I've changed to the Nescafe Intense, it's called. It's really nice. Yeah, I like that one. 2 teaspoons of coffee in a mug, and I just have it with milk. It's pretty good. But yeah, everything's difficult, and yeah, say I've been practicing like I can play Age of Empires with my left hand now, which I'm for gaming, for mousing. Normally I'm naturally a right-hander, although I write with my left hand. But yeah, I do hold a mouse with my right hand, but I've been training myself to use my left hand because, as I say, it's just been getting difficult to grip a mouse with my finger the way it is. So yeah, I'll be able to sit back. I don't know how I'll go with Diablo. Real-time strategy's probably okay. Yeah, I'm just sort of going to play it by ear. I won't be able to play first-person shooters. I haven't trained myself to use my left hand. The other thing with a first-person shooter, you pretty much got to use both hands because you're using one for the keyboard as well, right? So it becomes a bit tough. But yeah. Yeah. Got a few projects on the go, but see what I can get done before next week. And yeah, I would like to get that op amp fitted to that Amiga. I just want to do a little bit of a practice run with soldering, desoldering, and soldering those surface mount flat packs. And I might try and find a scrap board that I can do that with. And then I've got some chip quick solder, which is like a low melt solder, which I think I'll use to cheat and get the op amp off the board. And then once I've got the op amp off the board, it's pretty easy to solder and another op amp back on, I would think. So whether I do that on stream live or not, I don't know. Yeah, that's cheating, eh? I want to use I'll probably look into using the hot air at some stage. I just want to put a little bit more practice into using hot air. But I think with chip quick, it's such a small chip, and chip quick will just and boom, I think it'll come off. And then, as I say, putting the new one on shouldn't be too bad. But whether I do it live or not, I don't know. I'd hate to balls it up on stream and have everyone laugh at me. But yeah, I might do it in the weekend maybe. But yeah, I need to clear a bit of space. Gosh, just with these Amigas, just taking up so much room at the moment. Yeah. Yeah, it does feel good. Yeah, I need the rat's nest is almost unavoidable in the space I've got here. Without like completely gutting that whole space. So. Yeah. It's better than what it was, believe it or not. It's better than what it was. It's just a complete shambles before. But yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, might see you tomorrow night. I'm not sure what I'll do. Have to think about some projects. I mean, I've still got the Amiga 500 sitting here with the A590 and the Super and the Zip. I was going to that's what I was going to do. I was going to do the chip RAM mod on the A500. In fact, I could do it on that machine and just swap that machine into here. Might be the easiest way. Got that on the bench over there, I'll just do that. and then we'll see if we can get some more of those games, even like Super Frog, that wouldn't run on the CD because I've only got like 0.5 mega chip RAM. The other thing I want to have a wee go with is just seeing if that Amiga 500 Plus is reliable enough. It definitely needs work. It needs quite a bit of work, but I want to try and get it to the point where it's stable if I can. It's got a couple of issues. I think I had trouble with the plugging in the A590 wouldn't work properly with it, and I think it's something to do with that power issue I've got with it, or had. I did clean up the chip. I might have another look at that maybe and just replace that socket. I don't know. I've got a few bits and pieces on the go, so there's always room for more retro computer stuff in general, so yeah. Just heard the floppy drive access there. Yeah. Alright, all right across to Kasanomi. Thanks for catching up. Disk is accessing again. I'm not quite sure. Shouldn't be doing that if it's just sitting on the workbench, right? I'll keep an eye on it. Yeah. I'll look into that, those power sharks. Anyway, we'll right across to Mr. Kasanomi. Thanks guys for watching, hanging out. Just a short one, but we'll catch you maybe tomorrow night, see how we go. Thanks, I'll take a look at that link. Cheers, mate. Right. Yeah, thanks a lot. You too. See you next time. Ciao.